Addicts who've been to prison, like Courtney Haas, the odds, well, they are stacked against them staying sober. After being released, Courtney needed a full-time job, had to get drug tested 2 times a week, and try to renew a relationship with her 3-year-old daughter. Just one slip, and she's back in prison.
I don't know, kind of like it just gets emotional, but like I really just want to do what I have to do to not only like make it through, but like make it through and like succeed and to just like be happy. And like the justice system, yeah, it sucks. Jail sucks. Prison sucks. Nobody wants to be on probation. Nobody wants to deal with it. But like I've made it this far because I have dealt with it and because they did intervene and they did send me to prison. They did send me to a rehab. They do hold me accountable if I slip. They are there to pick me up when I fall.
It's heartbreaking as a mother because this is something that's treatable and we do have the resources to be able to treat it, but nobody wants to spend the money, and it all comes down to money, which is a shame because of everyone who's losing their children and losing their lives. And I just thank God that as of right now today, I'm not one of them, because I've had to think about how would we bury her? How would we pay for it? Because we've spent everything that we have on trying to get her treatment. Would anybody even come to her funeral? Because she has, you know, heroin took everything from her, but it hasn't taken her from us.
Staying clean must come first. If all else fails, you have to stay clean. Otherwise, nothing else is going to fall into place, you know. Long-term goals, I would like to get my student loan paid off. I owe a couple $100s on that. I want to enroll back in school. You know, really long-term, I want to be married and happy with, you know, maybe another kid or 2. I can sit here and put myself in a terrible bad mood and just want to say like, all right, f it all. Like I can't even drink at my f***ing wedding because I'm an addict, but just for today I don't have to drink. Or, you know, just for today I never have to get high if I don't ever want to. And I can't stay clean for my mom. I can't stay clean for my daughter. Like I have to want to stay clean for myself. I'm doing it because I want to do it, and there's not any hoop I won't jump through or any obstacle I won't get through, because like I just fully have it in my mind, like not only am I going to do it, I'm going to do it, and I'm going to do it with a smile on my face. And we'll see how it continues to work out.
Is that good? I'm going to share it with Mommy. Can Mommy have your ice cream? Mommy have your ice cream? I want it.
So once a family member has gone through rehab, once somebody has gone through rehab, what is that like? What are the challenges when you're talking probation officers or visitations or anything that is required afterward? Maybe there are sessions and groups, meetings you go to just talk about it.
You know, no driver's license, but you have no job. There are not a lot of businesses that are felon friendly, and unfortunately a lot of your addicts have been in jail, have felonies. So finding someone that's going to trust a felon that, you know, is on the right track and trying to make something of himself is very hard. And so they have no money, they can't get to their meetings. If they can't get to their PA, they're going to end up back in jail.
It's also important that we describe this disease as not something that you finish.
Right.
Yeah. We have multiple times said you went to rehab and you're back like you're all better now.
Right.
That is not the truth. It is a chronic relapsing disease that we almost always must be vigilant about if the patient is in recovery, and they always have to have access to treatment if they have a faltering, a relapse, et cetera, et cetera. But we need to remove ourselves from the idea that if you go to a 30-day rehab and it just happens to be really nice on the beach, that you're all better when you come back.
I think a really important point in all of this is that there are so many aspects of what a full continuum of care would be, and I think we have to have a full one for prevention, for treatment that includes employment services, housing, so people have a place to go live, especially if they can't go back to where they were, and also peers, recovery coaches, because I think that's another support that's really necessary. We have to focus on harm reduction, and we have to focus on supply reduction. If all of those pieces are not complete and in place, we're not going to be successful.
Talking about making the change in the systems, and that's only going to happen by people getting together and getting behind their elected officials and making the policy changes and the legislative changes that need to be made to make it work.
One of the things that strikes me about this issue is that the demographics of this epidemic are relatively young. So these people, they're going to be our neighbors, they're going to be our coworkers, they're going to be in our communities for a long time if we do our jobs. They're going to be living with us in our neighborhoods. And as a community, I think we need to embrace and support recovery as the management of a lifelong chronic condition, and build in community supports, both individually, like, hey, I'm going to support you, but then also within our systems and our structures.
So hitting bottom can mean dead. There's no coming back from that. So we cannot wait until people who need treatment hit rock bottom. That's too late with heroin.
To the person with an addiction, you have to look at what their biggest fear is. You know, with any disease, you know, if you want to get compliance out of a diabetic patient, why does a diabetic patient care about their sugars? They don't want to lose their feet. They don't want to go blind. They don't want to end up on dialysis. That's what scares them. What scares an addicted person? Withdrawal.
From our perspective as the ones who've lost the loved ones, we're mad now. You know, we're mad. We're like the Mothers Against Drunk Drivers. We're mad. But there's no outlet for us. Is where do we take that anger to get something done? Nothing's changed. Nothing has changed in this year.
I'm really sorry that you feel nothing's been accomplished, because I hear that a lot. But I do think things are happening, but it's because of people banding together. That's what does it. And I can only talk about our community in Claremont. We have a very strong opiate task force. We have gone to our legislators. They've even come to us. They've called us and said, we want to hear what you're doing. That's what's happening. And people are starting to listen. It's small steps, but we can't give it up. And people like you also are very helpful to us. People don't want to just hear the professionals. They want to hear people that have experienced this firsthand. You are so powerful, more so than you probably even realize. And to have you working with us on the professional side to push this stuff forward, that's the power. That's the power, and we hope we will continue to do that.
And you can find a series of columns about the issues we're talking about tonight on WCPO.com right now. You're watching Heroin, Fixing a Broken System. We'll be right back.